Hi, I'm Sandra. Welcome to the channel. I hope you'll click the button and subscribe so you get weekly updates on all the fun videos that you can use in your music classroom. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing easy movement activities with movement props you can do on the very first day of school. Let's get started. Let's start with our beanbag activity. Now I'm going to give you several different ways you can play a beanbag game so that you can play beanbag game with all of your grades on the very first day. I like beanbags because they're light and easy to use, and these are very easy to wash and keep clean, and the students then have something to hold on to, something tactile, and then they can play the game and be engaged. And we're also working on some music skills, classroom community, team building, and getting to know each other all in one game. It's pretty easy. It's kind of like hot potato. We're going to have some fun music playing. And when the music stops, whoever gets the beanbag is going to do one of a couple things. You can give us some choices. The reason I say I'm going to give you choices is because in kindergarten, they may not want to talk on their first day. And so you want to give them choices so they'll do something. So you might say, when the beanbag stops on you, you can just wave and you can say your name if you want to. In the upper grades, you can give them a little more choices. Maybe give them 3 choices. When the beanbag lands on you, you can wave and say your name. You can tell us your favorite ice cream, or you can tell us where you went on a trip this summer. So I would write those 3 things on the board so that if some of the students didn't quite get it with their ears, there's something that they can look. You can just say choice 1, choice 2, choice 3, so that you just start to get to know them a little bit, and they are going to walk out of the classroom feeling like, wow, I participated and I was included today. Wow, that's a great thing. So you're just going to have everybody sit, teach them to pass the beanbag nice and easy, play the music, stop the music, it stops, and they will do one of those 3 choices. It's just an easy icebreaker. You don't have to use it on the first day, but it's a great game to play at least during the first couple weeks of classes. Here's a couple ways you can use a stretchy band on the first day of your music class. With stretchy bands, it's going to be something very similar. You can modify this for your grades. I don't think it works really well for kindergarten. I don't think they're quite ready for stretchy bands on the first day, especially if you have a large number of students and you're the only one managing. It's hard to teach them how to hold on and not let go on the first day. They already are overloaded with a lot of other things from their classroom teacher. And so I probably would not do this game with kindergarten. But I think it works, and I've used it. It does work really well for your first grade and up classes. And so in first grade, you might want to have them sit down, and then you'll do a little more management. Say, okay, you 3 grab the blue. You 3 grab the yellow. You have to kind of estimate the class and then work it out. And then everybody say, once you got it, hold on. It's got sticky gum on your hands and you have to hold it on and it sticks to it like a sticky note. Okay. And then as you go up in the grades, you won't have to do quite as much management. And you can talk about, with the older grades, you can talk about teamwork. And we're all going to work together and play this fun game and get to know each other. And we're going to practice being respectful as we play the game, because I want to get to know you and I want you to get to know me. And the best way to do that is to play a game. So let's play a game. And then you can have a playlist of music ready. If you can, like, use your phone and just have it next to you. And you're sitting down, and we're going to start the music and we're going to bounce the stretchy band. And then when I stop the stretchy band, then I'm going to have them answer one of the 3 questions. As we get older grades, you could change the questions, have different ones for primary versus your upper grades. Like in primary, you might want to say, what's the favorite thing you're wearing today? Just something, your name, or something simpler, like what's your favorite ice cream? Just think of something simple for them in the younger grades. And then in the upper grades, you can have them maybe tell you where they visited this summer, or their favorite thing they did, or the thing they did most. And video games is probably going to be at the top of that list. Anyway, so it's an easy stretchy band activity you can do on the very first day of music class. So if you have a big parachute that you can use, you might want to bring that out on your first day of class, especially if you've already been teaching at the school. The kids know you already. You probably know a lot of the kids, so why not do something fresh on that very first day? So you're going to get out the parachute, remind them of your procedures, how you want them to hold it. All the parachutes are different. Figure that out. So when they come in, and then I thought it's just easy to pick an easy game to do with it. We don't want it to be too complicated on the first day because, of course, you have other things you're talking about. So this is just kind of a movement break activity, but let's use a music concept too while we're doing the game. So we're going to just do fast and slow. So you're going to have some musical selections that you can have ready that have fast and slow points in the music. And maybe they're just YouTube videos or they're on Spotify, something like that. Something easy that you can get together quickly. And just going to have everybody hold on to the parachute. And the purpose of the game is you tell the kids the purpose, the reason we're doing this is we want to learn to work together in the music room. And working with the parachute is like making music. And so we're going to do this and we want to include everybody. So now if you have a parachute that has different colors, you can do the same thing you did with the stretchy band, where you call out the color and they can answer a question. You can do that too. If you have one that's more a solid color or it's just not working out to divide the students up, you may find that since they're in the upper grades, the students can do this part, the waving, and then you could walk around the circle and tap the person that answers a question. So you could do that. Or you can just play a fast and slow movement game without answering any questions. So you have two choices there. You could even combine it if you need some more time. So you could do the get to know you one. And if you have 5 more minutes and you need another activity, then just go ahead and do the fast and slow activity. Have that music ready because you definitely will use it later. All right, and our last movement prop is the scarf. And the scarf is going to be very similar to the parachute and stretchy band. So if you have a regular scarf set, you have lots of different colors, right? And so you could figure it out. So you give like 3 or 4 of each color and just make sure you don't have like all red or something. And then you can play the same game. You could play music. They wave their scarves. When the music stops, you could say, okay, everybody sit down except for red. And if you have a red one, let's take turns saying your favorite ice cream. Let's take turns saying your name. And if you have time, you could go through it a couple times, especially with like the 3rd, 4th, 5th graders. Go through it so they actually end up answering all the questions. You can do that too. So a lot of this is just how long it takes, but you want to have an activity that has levels to it in case you need to extend the time. So think about, okay, we could bounce on the beat in kindergarten, just follow me on the beat. And when the music stops, you could do the color thing. But in kindergarten, they may not know their colors yet. And so then you want to think, well, in kindergarten, what could I do instead? So then what you might do is have them stand in a circle with color groups. That way, when you say, okay, let's have the reds say their names. And make sure you have everybody sit down when the music stops. And this color has a turn. And then you're going to need to be moving around. And then you can go to those kids and you can talk to them individually and ask them, okay, what's your name? Or what's your favorite ice cream? So have at least a couple questions ready because they may not, like I've had kids, second language learners might not be able to say their name that great. Or they're really nervous. So you want to accommodate for some of those things that are most likely going to happen in your classroom. And not to worry, just have your dominoes lined up. And then with the upper grades, you always want to plan to make it more complicated and to have more things for them to do. So it's kind of complicated plus more. One way to make the game more complicated with the upper grades who might be going a scarf on the first day, that's okay. If you make it more complicated, they'll buy into it. So you're going to have the color groups, they're mixed. And then once you have said your name, instead of a scarf, you could give them a beanbag and they could toss it instead. Or you could have them, if they've already had a turn, have them do it sitting. and wave their scarf. So the only ones standing are the ones that haven't had a turn. So you just want to mix it up and have some level that you can change up to help with your classroom management. All right, and that way you can use a scarf activity. You could do the scarf for everybody. So if you decide to do a scarf, you want to come up with a way to do it with everybody for your first day. So it's not too complicated for you. That will help you with your classroom management. And then you can focus on connecting with the students instead of trying to memorize 7 different games with everybody. So my main purpose in doing this video is to give you some movement activities that have some music concepts involved with them, and also to challenge you to use a movement prop with your students on the very first day of class, or maybe the second day of class, depending on how your school does their first day. And then you want to think, when you're doing one of these activities, if you're going to use a stretchy band, for example, you might want to do it with everybody on that first day. That way you're not managing a whole bunch of different things. And honestly, your room could not even be all set up. You could have maybe your decor up, but you don't have to bring all the instruments out and everything on the first day. You could bring the stretchy band in and do the stretchy band activity and have a lot of fun playing that game. And then the next week, you could start bringing out some of the other musical things that you might have in your room. That way the students aren't on overload on the very first day in the music room. We're just giving them one thing to do, kind of see you, see the room, and play a game with each other and make some connections. Those are just some tips for you for your first day back to school. It's so much fun to see the new students and their smiles, and it's so fresh, and we're all pumped up for the school year, and I know you're going to have a great time. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you'll subscribe to this channel. Let's keep kids moving and learning with music.